you?
Tremble at my name, for I am the Inquisitor.
Red Dwarf's Inquisitor isn't what he seems to be.
Huh?
When you dig beneath the surface, his grand plan starts to fall apart. And in this video, we'll see what he's really up to. We can see the problems with the Inquisitor right from the very first scene. He's removing people who wasted their lives.
Thomas Ullman, you have been found unworthy of having existed.
Is that you, Mother?
And he's supposed to be replacing them with someone more worthy of the gift of life. But he replaces Thomas Ullman with someone living the same life, in the same room.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Reality intro.
And in this video, we'll see that his actions don't align with his apparent objectives. And then we'll see what he's really up to.
Huh?
The legend.
You've heard of this Inquisitor?
Only as a myth.
The myth of the self-repairing simulant who survives to the end of time, realises there's nothing there at the end, no God and no afterlife, and so concludes the only reason for existence is to lead a worthwhile life.
And so the droid constructs a time machine and roams eternity, visiting every single soul in history and assessing each one.
Erasing those who wasted their lives.
And replaces them with those that never had a chance of life. The unfertilized eggs, the sperms that never made it.
So we're kind of sperms-in-law.
The episode is a brilliant example of something writers of a TV show are always looking for. A story which perfectly fits their show. A lot of the comedy of Red Dwarf comes from the fact that the characters are not perfect people. The Inquisitor wouldn't work on Star Trek.
We work to better ourselves.
We are constantly searching, not just for answers to our questions, but for new questions.
Don't give me the Star Trek crap. It's too early in the morning.
But the Inquisitor makes an excellent Red Dwarf villain.
He deletes the worthless.
We're in big trouble.
A villain who just happens to erase exactly what the Red Dwarf crew represent.
Take a look in the mirror. Read your entry in Who's Nobody.
Dismantling the legend. Contradiction 1. The replacements. As we've already seen, replacement Thomas Ullman hasn't had a radically different life from the original. Maybe the new Thomas Ullman had a similar but ultimately better life, but whatever that life was like, it's not radically different. He literally lives in the same room.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Reality intro.
But if the Thomas Ullman replacement suggests that replacements don't have radically different lives, then the other examples we have in the episode would seem to confirm it. The Inquisitor erases Lister and Crichton from history.
Our lives are being undone.
All that remains is to remove your physical forms from existence.
But later, after Lister and Crichton escape, we see their replacements.
Why the smeg 'em, Lister?
They're both on Red Dwarf, in exactly the same circumstances as the original Lister and Crichton. Which means that new Lister must have made the exact same life mistakes that got original Lister sent to the stasis room back in the pilot episode.
Have you got a cat? Yes, that one.
And then there's the obvious similar tastes in clothing, and similar personalities.
Really, for smeg's sake.
The Inquisitor is removing people judged to be unworthy of what he calls the gift of life. But his replacements are very similar to the originals. He's not achieving the aim as told in the legend, and either he doesn't notice or he doesn't care. Dismantling the legend. Contradiction 2.
The gift of life. You have been granted the greatest gift of all, the gift of life.
For someone who considers life to be the greatest gift of all, he doesn't have much regard for it. When the Inquisitor's process concludes that Lister and Crichton are to be erased, he removes them from history.
All that remains is to remove your physical forms from existence.
But Lister and Crichton manage to escape before he can remove their physical forms. But while hunting down original Lister and Crichton, the Inquisitor is so determined to kill them, replacement Lister and Crichton are killed in the crossfire.
He killed our 2 crewmates in cold blood. He's a monster.
The replacements are supposed to be the point of the entire process. Yet they become expendable the moment he has an opportunity to kill the escaping originals. And that's not the only strange thing about his erasure process. He does it in 2 stages. Erase from history, delete the physical form. But later in the episode, Lister's backfiring time gauntlet trick erases the Inquisitor from history and removes him physically all in one go.
My work, oh my glorious work, will be undone.
So why does the Inquisitor choose to do it in 2 stages? Why is it so important that he personally carries out the final sentence? Dismantling the legend. Contradiction 3. Your judge shall be yourself.
The criterion is not fame, it is simply to have lived a worthwhile life.
He wants to determine if someone has lived a worthwhile life.
Your judge shall be
Yourself! But his system doesn't determine worthiness. If you're willing to defend yourself, you pass. Which means Rimmer's excuses
But from what I started with, nothing is up.
and Kat's shallowness
I've given pleasure to the world because I have such a beautiful ass.
are judged to pass, whereas Crichton's humility
But I am programmed to live unselfishly.
doesn't pass, and Lister condemns himself
Spin on it.
by his refusal to acknowledge the system. So if his system isn't producing the stated results, what is it doing? The Inquisitor really doesn't like questions, which is no surprise given how his actions don't match his rhetoric. Rimmer questions the Inquisitor's legitimacy.
What gives you the right to ask? No, actually demand that answer of me, your magnificence.
And the Inquisitor gets very angry and asserts his authority.
all must answer to the Inquisitor.
And when Lister questions his authority,
Why should we kowtow to his judgment?
the Inquisitor shuts him down with threats.
Because I have the power to snap your body in 2 like a dry reed.
The Inquisitor really doesn't like questions about his authority to judge others. And in Crichton's trial,
But I am programmed to live unselfishly.
a question is proposed,
It is not our place to judge them. I wonder why you do.
and it touches a nerve with the Inquisitor.
Enough.
This defensiveness is typical of someone who believes the questions are dangerous. Someone who knows he can't give good answers.
See me now and tremble.
But there's one exception. One question he's ready for, and proud of his answer.
But how do I know I'll get a fair hearing?
To which he answers,
Your judge shall be
yourself! The Inquisitor is very proud of that answer, because when he gives it, he smugly puts his feet up in the chair.
It's a bit metaphysical, I know, but it's the only fair way.
He wants to believe his process is fair. He didn't condemn them, they condemned themselves. But there may be another reason he's so smug about Rimmer's question. Because by the time Rimmer asks,
But how do I know I'll get a fair hearing?
he's no longer questioning the Inquisitor's right to judge him. Instead, he's asking how he'll be judged. Rimmer has accepted the trial. And fairness is so important to the Inquisitor that he's willing to accept the wrong result.
By their own low standards, they have acquitted themselves.
A result in which Kat is said to have led a worthwhile life.
I've given pleasure to the world because I have such a beautiful ass.
The Real Inquisitor. Really quick recap. Crichton describes the legend of the self-repairing simulant who lives to the end of time,
He finally reaches the conclusion that there is no God, no afterlife.
and after that realization, he concluded that he knew and understood the meaning of life.
And the only purpose of existence is to lead a worthwhile life.
And so the Inquisitor builds a time machine and he visits and judges everyone. The Real Inquisitor. The real story. The legend is incomplete. There are gaps. The episode doesn't explicitly tell us what happened in the gaps, but we can work it out, because it's not realistic to think that anyone could suffer the existential crisis of number 1, conclude number 2, and not ask himself the obvious question. If that's the meaning of life, how do I measure up? Have I led a worthwhile life? He asks whether his life has been worthwhile, and then immediately gives himself a glorious purpose. That's no coincidence. So if he needed a glorious project, we can infer that when he asked himself the important question, he felt he came up short. But when he embarked on his mission to judge everyone, he found he was repeatedly asked the obvious question.
What gives you the right to ask? No, actually demand that answer of me.
And he was asked that question a lot.
Why should we kowtow to his judgment? It is not our place to judge them. I wonder why you do.
And he had no answer, just anger at what the question implied. And lacking an answer to justify his legitimacy, he falls back on threats.
Because I have the power to snap your body in two like a dry reed.
Good answer, man, good answer.
And in addition to threats, bluster became a useful tool to help compensate for his lack of legitimacy.
See me now and tremble.
And this is where his system of self-judgment becomes useful, because it enabled the Inquisitor to tell himself that he was fair and just.
It's a bit metaphysical, I know, but it's the only fair way.
But unfortunately, it doesn't answer the bigger question. What gives him the right to force anyone to stand trial in the first place? And so he still needs the threats and bluster.
All must answer to the Inquisitor.
But once the trial begins, self-judgment gives him a way to sidestep the uncomfortable part. He can tell himself that he doesn't condemn them. They condemn themselves. But a side effect was passing otherwise unworthy people who were willing to defend themselves, whilst condemning the humble. Making the judgment feel legitimate became more important than determining who was worthy. And we can see that same pattern elsewhere. According to the legend, the replacements are supposed to be the whole point of his glorious work.
And replaces them with those that never had a chance of life.
But the Inquisitor doesn't seem to notice, or doesn't seem to care, that his replacements lead very similar lives to the originals.
The unfertilized eggs, the sperms that never made it.
Another throw of the dice, another sperm, another random chance to fill the slot in life. Another random person dropped into essentially the same circumstances. He puts no effort into giving the replacements a better chance at succeeding.
Sorry, Mr. User. Reality control.
By contrast with the originals, he judges them, sees if they'll condemn themselves, and if they do, deliberately and unnecessarily kills them himself. The execution itself seems to matter to him. And when the original Lister and Crichton escape, he's so determined to kill them, he kills replacement Lister and Crichton in the crossfire. If giving worthy people the gift of life was really the thing that mattered most, his behaviour makes no sense. But it does make sense if punishing the people he judged unworthy is what really matters to him. All of this points in the same direction. He concludes that the only purpose of existence is to lead a worthwhile life, almost certainly turns that standard on himself, and appears to feel that he came up short. Then he spends eternity seeking out and punishing with death people guilty of the exact same failure he was guilty of. An enormous amount of circumstantial evidence pointing towards the same psychological explanation: projection. He found something about himself that he couldn't comfortably accept, and then became obsessed with finding that same failure in everyone else.
Thomas Ullman, you have been found unworthy of having existed.
Is that you, Mother?
His glorious mission apparently apparently gave purpose to his own existence. But the replacements barely seem to matter, because they are merely the justification for the mission. The originals are what he's really emotionally invested in. The Inquisitor, the droid who realised leading a worthwhile life was what mattered, realised he fell short, but didn't overcome that existential crisis. And instead, he turned it into a crusade. And that's why his plan doesn't work. His judging system doesn't reliably find worthy people. His replacements don't lead better lives. And he doesn't even bother to protect the people he's supposedly given the greatest gift of all. Because making the system work was never what mattered most to him. What mattered was being the Inquisitor.
Tremble at my name, for I am the Inquisitor.
Having a glorious purpose, judging and punishing others, and in particular, punishing those who were unworthy, just like him. But perhaps the most disturbing point of all, the Inquisitor, the droid who discovered the meaning of life, and this is what it did to him.
Enough.